Welcome to Operance, probably the easiest building information platform your team will ever use. With Operance, you can visualize the process it takes for you, your project teams, and supply chain to create a golden thread, a way of organizing and using all your building information in one place throughout its entire life cycle. There are lots of features to cover in Operance, and many more in continuous development. But the most important thing about Operance is that it is designed to manage the world's building information for safe, harmonious places for everyone. Now, I know that may sound a little fluffy on the surface, but Operance was founded, designed, and built by property people for property people. We know the pain teams go through in producing and attempting to get value from building information and the risks associated with poor quality or non-existing records. And that's probably why Operance is quickly gaining a reputation for being super easy to use. It works for organizations that needs to begin developing a golden thread of information for both legacy and new facilities. Also works for those that are simply fed up of paying coordinators to ask for O&M information you've already paid and asked for. If that's the case, then Operance is possibly the easiest building information management platform you can adopt, but it's still robust enough for more advanced processes as well. But all marketing aside, let's start by looking at the journey to creating more useful building information. I'll quickly share my screen as if I was giving you a one-to-one demonstration. Here you can see the four main modules of Operance: define, curate, access, and maintain. These modules spell out the journey to developing a golden thread of building information in just 4 simple steps. Firstly, let's explain what the golden thread is. Well, it is both the information about a building that someone needs to understand and keep safe, and the information management process to ensure the information is accurate, easily understandable, and can be accessed by those who need it to keep it up to date. So the most logical place to start with is the end in mind. What's the point of requesting coordinate information about facilities unless you've had direct feedback from those that need it? The define module, therefore, is where clients, contractors, and facilities managers, or Jeff, as we call him, let's say he's a school caretaker, they need to have input in what standardized building information requirements cover and how they cover everything from O&Ms to health and safety files, planned preventative maintenance schedules, BIM data, and more. These requirements are then uploaded into your projects as standard whenever you create a new project in Curate. Curate is where the project team and the supply chain then produce information exactly as your end users requested it. Once complete, the information is handed over to those that need it. From Access, owners find their information with their own digital estates portfolio, with key information about their assets available thanks to a user-friendly search engine. What's more, with all the information structured and accurate and in a digital format, those that need the information whilst on the go, again Jeff, the school caretaker, can then use Maintain to access, search, share, edit, update, supplement, and use their information to operate and maintain their facilities from their mobile, keeping your golden thread in one single source of truth. Sure, there are steps in between these modules, such as how to assign and audit the information you need, but we'll cover those in more detail in the future. So, all marketing aside, let's take a look around and get you comfortable with things so you can get started. This is how you would access the main platform, but we're going to go straight to Define. Within Define, this is where users can create or adopt and edit existing data templates. This is officially your first golden thread feature alert. Data templates are a way of developing a baseline set of information requirements to ensure your teams request, produce, and maintain uniform information across all your projects at the component level, so that Jeff can keep the lifecycle history of components and building elements up to date. a key golden thread recommendation. Our fast-growing library of data templates covers everything from facilities, floors, spaces, systems, types of components, and individual components or assets. Now, for those of you with a Kirby persuasion, your eagle eye may have noticed that these elemental levels match those of the Kirby data standards. And you'd be right. Just one example of how everything we design and build is aimed to be as universally acceptable as possible. So within a data template, we first create a list of property sets. That's this list down here, all in line with classifications, Uniclass standards. Within the property sets, we then have the properties. We can continuously add to those and edit them as the projects go on, should you want. Once the data templates are ready and the organization creates a new project, these standards are instantly uploaded from the back end. And hey presto, you're good to go. Let's go over to Curate. This is where the real magic happens. Firstly, let's assess what's in front of us here. We call this the projects board, and each of these cards is a project in itself. They are spread across 4 phases of a building's life cycle, from concept to design, construction, and occupation. These phases are then split by 3 very curious gateways, 1, 2, and 3. Thanks to having been invited to participate in some great industry working groups, such as the National Golden Thread Initiative by the then Ministry of Housing, we've been really fortunate to be able to understand and design out the gateways in line with everyday construction practices and processes, such as the REBA stages of work. Following the principles of the new Building Safety Act, we've incorporated these gateways in order for specific and yet to be fully defined by the government information regarding high-risk buildings, those that are 80 metres or 7 floors high and have at least 2 residential units, or is a hospital, or is a care home. This information is then audited by the BSR, the new Building Safety Regulator, prior to reaching the next phase. For instance, Gateway 1, this provides access to the BSR to review basic fire safety design information, such as fire escape plans. These must be produced and accepted before you go ahead and request planning approval. Gateway 2 now provides the opportunity for the BSR to further review information before you start on site. This information could relate to material specifications or design criteria relating to fire stopping, fire resistance, and so on. Finally, at Gateway 3, you must provide all information relating to fire safety before the building can be handed over. Oh, and by the way, should the BSR not be happy with the information at either Gateway 2 or Gateway 3, they now have the legal power to prevent those projects going forward until they have presented their building assurance certificate. But whether you have a high-risk building or not, having gateways at the start of the project encourages a far more productive process in pulling together building information. I mean, think about it. How many times have you seen building information being requested a month or so before handover? Why do we do it? In doing so, information is rushed and normally results in inaccurate information that causes delays and, arguments too. Worse still, poor building information can risk lives and efficiencies during the occupation phase. Operance is different. We promote the development of information from day one, providing access to the client as early as possible in line with government soft landing procedures. Okay, let's go straight into another golden thread feature. This subtle little toggle switch hides one very powerful tool, our golden thread activity log. By switching this on or off, you can see exactly what's happening across as many or as few of your projects as you wish. The golden thread activity log is quite basic at the minute. It simply logs new information, users and organizations as they come and go. But it's coming much more powerful thanks to both machine learning and some very effective handiwork behind the scenes. Soon we'll be able to create automated alerts based on elements directly linked to fire safety. For instance, so Should someone look to change the specification of a pre-agreed material or element, this will create an alert to both the duty holders and the accountable persons, those responsible for the project information, in order for them to either accept or reject the changes. Pretty nifty. What's more, the immutable ledger can never be switched off or meddled with. What's happened has happened and is forever logged and stored away. We can switch the view on or off, but be safe in the knowledge that your golden thread audit trail is always working away in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a project. Well, that could be easier. So if we head on over to the quick add plus button here, we can select project. We then add the basic credentials as prompted. You'll see here we ask for not just project titles, but the sector, how many floors, and who the client is. This is again, that's how we can automatically determine which sector-specific or client-specific data templates to upload, and if the facility is classified as a high-risk building or not. From here, you can also add or remove phases as well. Click Add Project, and there's the new project. Now let's go ahead and view an example project. Straight away, we access the About page. This can be as much or as little information about your project as you wish. A brief description and an image or two go a long way to helping the supply chain understand which project is which, should they have access to more than one. Let's go straight to the Data tab. This is where your project teams and supply chain are assigned and provide the information required. Again, you can see that the information is split between the facilities, floors, spaces, types, systems, and components. Now, this is where Operance really sets itself apart from every other platform in the market. You see, if you're looking at a common data environment as a potential golden thread solution, these are not much more than just a simple filing system with information stored in files annotated to what they're relevant to. It could be an architectural file or a mechanical, electrical, and plumbing file, for instance. But one of the key recommendations for the development of a golden thread is to hold information at the component level. And this makes absolute sense. How can you keep information about, say, your boiler up to date through its entire life cycle if it's not stored somewhere within a generic MEP file? And this brings back the importance of the data templates. Let's take a floor as an example. As you can see, we have the property sets, architectural drawings, by strategy, etc. And within them, you have the properties, elevations, floor finishes, general arrangements, etc. Each design is then uploaded by the architect who has been assigned to provide them. A progress wheel calculates how much information is outstanding and then feeds it into the main dashboard. Let's look at a more specific example. Here we have a distribution board of a particular make and model. Again, from here, the assigned simply fills out the boxes and provides the necessary information the client requires. This can be done in two ways. We can either fill out the box or we can simply format the text as well. We can provide bold, headings, paragraphs, that type of thing for more longer text pieces. Or we can simply just fill in the boxes direct. Easy. We can also add documents. From here, we add a document that's uploaded and boom. Once it's dropped in, we can click on it. That'll take us through the browser and we can check whether that's the correct document or not. Oh, and by the way, if your project incorporates a BIM process, it's even easier to provide information, as we can simply upload a classified IFC BIM model and extract data from it. So go back to the Quick Add button at the top here, and this time click on Model. Confirm the model type, so the architects, or the primary model as we call it, and then attach it to a program. Browse as many models as you want and upload them. Now, whilst that's uploading those models, it's actually analysing the data within the models also. Pretty cool. So for instance, if we click on one of these models, let's go back a step. Let's do that again. Add the model, architectural, add it to a project, click on the file, upload, and then that comes through. If we show that in the project, we click on the model itself, we can see information as it's come through. So it's recognized as one facility or building, 7 floors, 126 spaces, and a lot of classified assets. By accepting this model, all that super useful data has now been uploaded into the project and actually get used and updated beyond handover. This is another unique feature of Operance. Unlike old school paper O&Ms, or even so-called digital, but predominantly PDF-based brochure O&Ms, let's be honest, they're both just dumb data. For example, how easy is it to search, share, edit, update, and use the information in either of these formats? It's not even impossible. That's why our truly digital data field approach is the future of building information. Let's take another example. Go back to the project and the data and click on Systems. Click on this system here. Now, each of these properties is a data field. With the information in this format, there's so much more we can do. For instance, we have data installation here. We could create an automated alert to state when the warranty is about to expire relating to this date. Or we can create automated notifications relating to planned preventative maintenance. But that's not all. Why employ external coordinators to pull in all this information together to then create the various handover documents? O&M, health and safety, building user guide, all those. Why do that when it can be done automatically? Especially when a lot of handover information is simply duplicated between each manual or file. For instance, we see as-built drawings requested in both the O&M and the health and safety file. And we see contradictory built project descriptions written about the same project across several different manuals and files. Well, fear not, because Operance provides a very unique solution to this. You see, behind every one of these data fields is a unique tag specifying whether specific information is relevant to the O&M, the health and safety, building user guide, building logbook, or any of the other new ones coming out as part of the new building safety bill. Basically, information only needs to be provided once. And, like a very clever plot twist, the supply chain providing the information within these data fields don't know it, but they're collectively building your handover manuals without them even knowing it. No wonder internal O&M document controllers love Operance. Now let's take a look at how the information is presented. Let's click on Manuals, and here you can search for information instantly, thanks to our simple search engine. Should we type in boiler and press search? Boom! Here are your search results for 2 different types of boilers on this project. Click on one, and there you go. Here are the property sets, open them up, and here are the properties. The dark text and the documents within here are those supplied by the supply chain in those data fields. So every time they fill it in, they're actually filling in those manuals as they go along. Incidentally, every organization you assign to those is added to your very own supply chain management system. We call this fast developing module assign. We're quite excited about its future, but more on that at another time. Okay, let's head over to Access. This is again fast developing and still very much in its infancy as we move from our first phase of product development, as-built golden thread information, to the next, in-use golden thread information. In Access, clients will be able to find all their facilities created through Operance in the one place, developing their very own digital estates portfolio. From here, They can search for information at estates level, filtering down to components across their entire estate. For instance, should you want to know in the future how many 30-minute fire doors you have across your entire estate, or you want to create a procurement schedule, that'll all be done from here. Should you want to find information about a particular asset that's broken down, you can do that through here too. Again, you click on the asset, here's your property sets and the properties within. Okay, whilst access is great for those behind the estates management team, we wanted to make it super easy for owners, operators and occupiers on the ground to use this information too. Let's not forget, we started with the end in mind. We wanted to make it super easy for Jeff, the caretaker, to simply find information about his boiler. So we developed a mobile application with him in mind. This was another key design principle for us, was again, keep it simple, and another way in which we differentiate ourselves from the market. We don't believe in navigating complicated 3D digital twin models is the most efficient way for Jeff to find information. And we know, because we spoke to many Jeffs up and down the UK to get their feedback. They not only disliked this experience, but Jeff's bosses also believed this would waste even more time when searching for key information. Jeff simply wants to stand in front of a boiler, hold up their phone and find their information. Once signed in, Jeff has immediate access to his buildings. He can then find information at any level. We click on this, this is his boiler, and there you go, all the property sets, and then all the properties within. But it doesn't end there. By clicking on the Quick Add button, this enables you to continuously add information at the elemental level, forever developing your golden thread. If you've been emailed a test certificate, you can add that direct. If you want to take a photo for condition survey purposes, you can do that direct. And be safe in the knowledge that photo isn't getting dumped with another 1,000 photos in a folder somewhere on a server, because it's stored exactly where it should be, against the component it relates to. But here's the real piece de resistance, I can't say it. Here's the special bit. From here, we can actually, whether it be on the desktop or mobile, now use your O&M information for actually operating and maintaining your facilities without needing to manually input your information into a separate facilities management system. Take this boiler for an example. Let's create a reactive task to replace the ignition. We add in summary, a bit of a description. We categorize it, as in, is this reactive or proactive? And then we prioritize it. It could be the middle of December. We need to get this boiler sorted quick. Once all the information's in, we press confirm. And that's it. Task has been added. It's been assigned to whoever it needs to be. And it's stored at the actual component level, meaning the continuous health and durability of this component can be forever tracked and reviewed. But that's not only that. Let's add on hover back to the main section and click on the task center. Remember when we defined the data templates at the beginning? We said we can add planned preventative maintenance against every element. This means Jeff would have a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly and annual task list for maintaining their facility right from day one. Okay, let's go back to the main page and the main platform and finish up. So there you go. That's been a brief whistle-stop tour of Operance, our next generation building information management tool, placing all your building information in one place. Plus, with API capabilities, the possibilities really are endless as we look to create a true single source of truth. We hope this has whetted your appetite for managing your building information for safer, more harmonious places for everyone. Should you want to know more, contact us through our website, www.operance.app.